Well, thank you everyone for coming. You made me quite nervous that it's quite full. But I will give an introduction about what we're going to do. This is a QR for you to download the repo. Everything we will talk here is going to be there. So you can just, we made the material for you to use standalone or for you to replicate. If you think it's a cool workshop and you want to replicate it and use Remix, free software and free ideas. So you just remix and share. And while I will talk a little bit about the concepts, it will be nice if everyone got this website for you to create an account here. We will use this platform because it's really easy to use. Yeah, so just create an account. It'll take 1 second, but because internet may have issues, cool. This says, wait. Oh, sorry. This is the workshop repo. And this, if everyone still need a moment, please raise your hand. Okay, I'll wait. This workshop will be in 2 parts. We have a very nice agenda, and we will try to follow the path. So it will be a little bit of hands-on. We'll talk a little bit about what it is an AI agent, if you're not already tired to hear it. I accept complaints and discussions if you do not agree with me. So that will be the practical part. You will create one very simple one. And I want you to pitch yours if you have something in mind. And then we'll do a break. And we will do some other types of exercises thinking about what you're doing. Do you still need some time for this particular QR? Then I'm changing for the second QR. This is for you to create an account.
Okay, this is working. Yeah, in the second part of the workshop, we are going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about ethics and equip you with a framework on how you can self-assess how good or harmful your agent can be in a non-black and white world of agents.
Everyone good with this QR? If not, raise your hand. Okay.
I mean, theoretically, if you got the repo, you should have access to this QR.
Brilliant point.
Or the link.
Okay. Cool. So this is our... I can... Yes. Cool. Merci.
So for a little bit, we are going to keep the QR there until everybody's like, okay, we got it.
Is it readable enough for at the end of this room, though? No. No? Okay. Just a little check. People at the back of the room, can you hear me well enough? And can you read well enough? Okay, cool. Well, I'm basically talking whatever is written there. So this was a little bit of introduction of who we are. But we have left our... this is basically a little intro of this workshop is about, is what we have spoken. AI agents became very hot topic nowadays, and we will talk a little bit of what it is and some approaches to create it. And then we reflected, because I truly believe that this is almost as big of a revolution in the technical field as it was the internet, and that means that there's a lot of changes coming, and I'm inviting everyone to collectively think of what does it mean as an impact for our society. And this is why the ethic parts come in. And this is what you will learn, hopefully, at the end of the workshop. So what it is an AI agent and how can you create it, how can you use the different platforms and tools box for you to create it, how you can critically think about what you have created, and how you can reflect on how, in a bigger scope, this is affecting our society. And this material is reusable. This is a little bit about us. And back to our agenda. I think I'm just not relying on the internet. No. Just a bit. Cool. So what it is? I mean, anyone opinionated here that would like to define or have heard or had your own definition what about what an AI agent is? I assume you don't? But again, I will tell you what I think it is, because I have been working with this in a few months, and this is how I think, oh, that's what it is, and I will do that in a very simple word. For me, what an AI agent is, it's a sophisticated automation that can do things on your behalf, and you can use different tools to do that, but that's basically what it is. It is automate things. And it can be as sophisticated and as simple as you want. And most of the times we use AI agent because we will make use of language models to do so. That's basically this, what I understand. Would anyone would like to compliment or deny that affirmation? I like debate, huh? I really like it. But then I have been doing a series of interviews with someone who's my mentor and who taught me to code. And he's the brain of this platform that I am currently working on. And this is the platform we use because I think it's really cool and easy and you have free credits. So I think it's cool to share that. And I like his definition about, okay, but what is a good agent and what the heck should I expect? Because debugging the thing, it kind of can give you a little of a brain knot. But I think what we aim to do when we're creating one, and I think this is a very nice guide, is that you want that the user, whatever will use the agent, and that can be you, just for you, you want to expect something, and that needs to be reliably delivered. And the cool thing about working with language models is that just so know, who here comes from typical software development, software engineering field? Yeah, me too. So for me, it was a gigantic shift in the paradigm on how I do things. As a software developers, we want to do things the way we want, and we expect that function to behave the way we want it to behave exactly. With language models, it's not exactly how it works. It's more a partnership of some kind, but that changes a little bit of our paradigms, and I do have an interview and a video about that, because that's when I give a little light bulb. There's a part of the work that you do want it to be exactly what you want, like, for example, an API request. You don't want that to deviate, and instead of going to youtube.com, you're going to youporn.com. Oops, maybe you want, but you want it to be reliable, right? You don't want to, that thing you do want to be reliable. But your agent, you want to expect to achieve the same expectations. So, you want that to consistently deliver something that you expect. It doesn't mean that it is 1 + 1 is 2, it will always be 2. It's a bit different. But there's a lot of challenges when you're building a good agent, and a lot of complexity. So when you're a software developer, you have like this canvas that you know the steps and the architecture you will build, and this is kind of very finite canvas. You will have if you think from the user's experience, you will have, and think about web development, for example, you will have a website, you have a button, you will click it, it will take you somewhere. There's a few steps that you can do and you will control it. As an AI agent developer, that space became almost infinite, because if you want to create it from the scratch, you will need to think, well, I'm not entirely sure what my user input will be or wishes, so we're very used to chatbots, but maybe a user do not want to deal with text. It wants something else. Maybe he wants a sensor input, maybe wants an image, so the world of inputs become not just a little thing, but a gigantic thing. And you as a developer, you will need to create every single part of that. So that's one thing. And then there's how you connect all these things. If it is an infinite entry and an infinite output, and you as a developer, you still need to create all these links, that become a very heavy work. This is why I will suggest you to, when you are starting approaching agent developers, and that's what we will do here, you start with some frameworks. So you start doing that little by little and learning to debug all these infinite parts little by little. Make sense? Cool. Who here has already created an agent before? Have you run it from the scratch, or have you used a framework? You? Cool. Anything else? It's not actually it's a little raw, no? You kind of have to do some work there already. You? Set? Cool. Yeah, so I think it's a little bit like this. So you have to, but mostly what you want to understand the user intent. And the user intent in the AI world is not that direct input. It's not like go from here to that. It can be very, it's an intention. It's not a full function, but an intention. And that is something, that's the first step you need to do. How the thing get in, and what do I do with the thing that the person who knows who it is want, and who knows what the heck they want, and how do I do with it? So understanding the user intent is one part of creating a good agent. The second one is producing the right condition to the desired outcome. For example, a very common use case is that people want to use agents to create content for YouTube or for social media. So the condition for the desired outcome is that you want to push a button, you want to create a thingy, and you want that thingy to go to whatever social media you want, and the videos you want to post it right away. And that's the desired output. You have to create an image, you have to post it on my behalf. Making sense? Okay. And then you have to make sure that that aligns with the expectations. So again, I don't want to put in the wrong website, and I don't want the image to be not as I expected. Like, I was expecting a fluffy cat, and then you came back like an ugly microscopic ant. If someone has seen it, it's very nightmarish. I do not recommend. So you don't want that. You really want the fluffy cat. Cool. So that's simple. In simple words, that's how I define it. And I talk a little bit about that, but there is a little bit of mental model shift. And I'm very visual, so for me to understand better how to break down those parts that I need, that's of course a little bias from my software developer experience. I try to do some comparison, and I hope that helps you too, this graphic. So I'm kind of, oh, okay, when I'm creating that, I'm thinking about what it is they're error handling. For example, I need a human to tell me. So it's not only debugging the APIs or whatever developer experience you have, you also need to debug the human. So sometimes you need to have a human in the loop for the systems that you are creating. And And so here I left a little big text. I want to jump into the practical part, but it's a little text that I talk about the paradigm shift. And I would love to hear your opinions if you read it, to tell me if that's any helpful or not. And okay, so how do you design these agents? This is also like, not to become so abstract, but you want this, you hear those keywords a lot, which is capabilities and tools. Those are two words that I think you hear a lot when you're talking about agent, and I want to break that down. So tools is a concept that I think OpenAI released, that it's kind of you create a function that the language model can interpret. And it's quite cool. So when you say the capability, you say, oh, my agent has capabilities, and that is changing the hair color and, no, I'm inventing now, but like go back to social media because I deal with that all the time. So create a post and create an image. Those would be my capabilities. And those capabilities you will create as functions inside of what we call those tools. So big words, doesn't mean much, it's a function, and it's the description of that is, using mostly like the description of it. A big thing for agent development, usually people who come from integrations or like to pipe, I like to think about AI agent creators as plumbers, because what you do a lot is plumbing things. And most recently, most precisely in November, Anthropic has released a new protocol to talk with AI agents called MCP, or Model Context Protocol. Anyone familiar with that? It is a pretty cool thing. It is a kind of a very clever API, but it's a kind of a big pipe. I like to think actually as a pipe that pipes both ways. So you can, it's like a super power REST API that lets you connect with everything, and brilliantly, finally, is standardized. Because most APIs are not, but the MCP it is. That means if you have a server that opens the door, you can talk with anything, It's pretty cool. But it also opened doors for a lot of security issue. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Cool. And then there's a whole question. Sad that Laura is not here. But if you want to use it from scratch and create your own platform, for example, your external web app that uses agents, I would recommend you to work with a good designer. Because nowadays we got very used to chatbots, but the design is kind of suck to work with this infinite amount of possibilities that it brings to us. Oh, shit. So there's other things that you may have run across, and that's a really high level, that is memory. There is a lot of people that you can connect your agents with databases. Most likely probably vector databases or any database if you want to store that. But mostly, agents, when they finish their workspace, their memory will finish there. This is kind of important to know because people may think that they are learning, and they're not quite. They will learn on a very short project. So it's nice when you work with that and you think about the project, and the project will have some scope, but outside of that, things are very limited, and most frameworks and platforms will work like that as well. Oh, shit. Okay, so let's do some hands-on. In the repo, everyone got the repo? Yeah. So the first thing is for you to create an account in OpenServe. Have you created with the other link? I think you can see better than white. And okay, so what OpenServe will help you with? It gives you a lot of straightaway benefits for creating your agent. It helps you with the user intent. There's kind of shadow agents that already figure it out, like we will run an example now for our basic agent that you can say hi, hello, hola. I mean, use basically lots of languages, and it will respond. You kind of understand the user intent. And it gives you some other benefit. But before I start that, I know some of you came here with some ideas on your mind. So before we run the base example, I would like 3 brave humans to pitch your idea about the agent you want to create. No brave humans today. Okay, stand up and speak your... Thank you. Thank you.
Test. Can we create an agent that will create posts for, you suggested social media, for a Twitter or X profile for a specific domain? I don't know, machine learning or AI?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm excited.
Second brave human.
Hi, hello. It would be super interesting to see an AI agent that is able to help you with the research for a book and then makes a suggestion for like an, how to say that, like a table of content and a concept for the book. And the topic shall be actually right-wing incidents in Germany.
Good agent. Third brave human.
Hi, I'm not sure if it's like too involved, but I wanted to have an agent which does grocery shopping for me. So basically it goes on like some recipe website, it picks a recipe, and then it goes to some supermarket and uses their online ordering thing, and then all the groceries just show up and I don't have to deal with people in the supermarket.
Great, I want that. I'm using your agent.
Yeah, and it's going to be also surprise recipes, right? You would have to tell it
actually,
how complex your recipes should be.
I'm a pretty good cook, so that's fine. No, but
Anyone else would like to pitch your agent idea?
Sorry, I cannot stand up because...
No, you can sit. It's okay, it's okay.
So, I want to make an agent like which can, the information is really distributed, like usually when I'm kind of searching for a recipe, maybe it would be on Instagram, but I'm searching on YouTube. So kind of the Reels world I'm talking about. So an agent, I give him the thing just like I'm making some dish, pasta, let's say, and he picks that information from Twitter, Instagram, and everything, and then gives me up in one single place. So.
Cool. Those are actually not super complex agents. That you could do it in, maybe yours, I don't know, because I don't know any supermarket that has an API. Maybe. But that's the only issue. But there, you could accomplish that really fast. I do have to say something, and that's, I'm dressing the shame head here. So we do have, OpenServe do have a very nice SDK, but it is in TypeScript. And I have been working the past months to trying to translate that to Python, and I have not been so successful. But I have done it for this workshop, a basic example to run, so you can try it out. And I will keep on working on the SDK. So, for example, the Twitter, it's I will show you, everyone has created the account? If someone not, please raise your hand. Are you having problem with the link, or you're just creating? An error? I'll go there, check it with you. And the other one that couldn't have it is also an error? Oh, okay. Cool. You could, so here, you can create a I will do step-by-step how to do it. In this repo, so one of the exercises is, let me check my agenda. Oh, shit, okay. There was one more thing about multi-agents. Multi-agents is now a thing. It's a kind of approach for you. You want very specialized single agents working together. And that's another cool thing about the OpenServe. You can just create single things, and they will put everything together. You can also use other people's agents together with your agent to create a good team, to create whatever your ideas are. Cool. So here, I actually added the whole SDK in here. But just so you know, the SDK is a wrapper for our API. So you're basically sending a message, whatever HTTP requests to some endpoints, but that's what it's doing. But it's way nicer to use the SDK. Can you read it here? No, right? It's very tiny. But what the SDK does is that, this is the main one, just so you understand. It will allow you to create this example, which is a basic one, that it's kind of easy. It's just like, we use Pydantic for type check, and we import, here is the source, but it's the SDK. Eventually, I will publish to, yesterday I learned the UV, I found it cool. We're using logging. You need .env for your environment variables. And you can just substitute this one for env. You define classes. This is just a name. And here you define a function. Here's a super basic one. So you will run, just to test it, a really basic agent that what you will do, you will say, it will give you hello, goodbye. And if you say help me, you will say, well, I can only say hello or goodbye. It's a very silly one. But this really basic agent help you understand all the steps. This is why I have created. And for you to start, this is another part that it's important. So it's just this file and the systemd. And the system, it's kind of, it tells your language model which mindset you should have. This is like a kickstart for a language model. So okay, you are a helpful assistant that helps me tell the workshop about agents, whatever. That's what the system is kind of important, and it's part of what you need to do. In the README, you have step-by-step about what you need to do. Shit, there's one more thing that I forgot. The way you communicate from your local machine to OpenServe, it's creating a tunnel, meaning you will make your computer, you will create a URL on our computer that will, from your local thing, communicate with the platform. You need to open this tunnel. I recommend using ngrok. If you download it, it's free. It takes 1 second. And you can just download it. So sorry, I forgot about the tunnel. It's in the README, you can do it, but if you want to run the agent now, you kind of need it. Forgot. And then it's just a simple Python, and I would do with you, so we can do it together. So first, you need oops. After you download the ngrok, you literally just say ngrok HTTP and the door you want to use it. We typically use 7378 for the examples. And that creates this nice URL, which I think is super cool. Then now my computer is open to the world, and that's just the local part. And you go to the OpenServe platform, you say, I want to add an agent, and we will create my first workshop agent. The endpoint is your tunnel. This is why you need it, because this is how they will communicate. And you add the capabilities. The capabilities is this that is in your example. Create agent. So basically what you're doing, you're instantiating a class of the agent SDK. And you're just saying, I have a greet capability and a farewell capability. Greet, farewell. It also has a help. And when I do this capability description, my shadow agents will find the agents I need to accomplish my idea by this capabilities definition that I have created. So it's kind of clever in that way. Like, if I want to create an image, but you didn't choose an agent that creates an image, it's not magic. You need an agent that creates an image. Then the project manager or the shadow assistant will call it. And this is for the integrations part. This is super cool. You just add a scope. We have some native ones. There's already the MCP. You would just literally say, add the scope. So I want to get account info and post to Twitter. Post it. You just add the scope. And that's it. It's kind of magic. There's probably a PR right now that any agent will be able to use any capabilities. But right now, you need to add it to the agent. And then that's it. It's very simple. You need to connect here in integrations. For the basic example, we won't need it. I'm just showing because one of the ideas for social media, you just authorize. And that's how you do the integration. It's super simple. Am I making everyone confused already? Yes. Oh, damn it. You're in rocking. Two factory. Holy shit. I'm sorry about that. Wait, what? No, I don't think so. I have to log in. Well, there's some others, but I think that's the easiest one.
Password management tool. If you want us, I can do the two-factor authentication for you. Total privacy. You can just link it to my phone. All fine. Nobody.
No, no, not. I know. World. Yes, cool. So for you that has already done the NG-Rock, again, all the steps are described. I would just show you for us. Sometimes it's just nice when someone show you and you say, that was it. It was so simple most of the time. So here's Akamai first agent. You need the API keys per agent. So you need to create your agent first. Agent. So your endpoint is this forwarding here. Capability, read, farewell, help. In this case, I don't need any integration because not actually needed to say hi. And then you have this manage this agent. And here you can create a secret key. Yeah. You will, you will use the platform as your language model, and you will use it as well to use the benefits of the shadow agents and the whole structure, and to connect with other agents.
And which system front did you use there, for example?
Oh, yeah. So you're already creating a project. So first we'll create our agents, right? Everyone, so you create this API key, you copy, and you add that to your environment variable, me, very securely showing and being recorded to the world. OpenServe API, and you will add to your .env. Save it. And then you run, so you have the ngrok running in one terminal, and now you go to another terminal, and you will run your example. Just a Python, in my case, Python 3, examples, basic agent.py. Cool, your agent has created. As soon as it's approved, you go to a marketplace, everyone can use it, but before that, you can use as much as you want to test it out. And then now you use your agent. For use your agent, you create a project, and you say, hey, or whatever you want, like a hi, I'm Brutus. Say hi and bye, because they're the two capabilities that it has. I'm not sure if it does in dog language. Project. Workshop. Agent. So the way you test your agent is through your project, creating a project. Where are you so far? Has anyone could have run the ngrok on your computer? Okay. Should I cut it? Should I cut the tutorial? Oh, okay. Frustration level, how is it going? That's a high level frustration? No. This part? Everybody? Better? Perfect.
Is anybody still doing ngrok?
Okay.
You can also just look at the laptop of your neighbor that might have done the ngrok already and pair up. Like,
Yeah.
the steps are all documented, and you can always like follow up later.
Okay, where are you at? Ah, cool. Did you add it to your environment variable, the secret key? Perfect. Then you run your agent, and you create a project. Like I say here, your name, and choose your agent. Here, like you select your team, you're choosing your agent. And you run it.
Yeah, and then I have it in a project, but how do I interact with it?
But my first. So this is my first agent that I have created. I select it, and I just, okay, start the project. And then you do it on its own. As a developer, you want to see the, it will always first ask for a human interaction here in the loop to say, oh, okay, this is the part of understanding the user intent. Oh, so you mean that I should break down in tasks? So you should say, hi, Brutus, is that what you want? If it's not that, you can fix it, or you can just approve a plan. Say, the agent should say bye to Brutus. Yeah, that's what I want. Cool. So I approve it, and then it called my agent. You will see that it's in progress. You follow all the steps, and you can follow from your terminal as well everything that's going on. Okay, I receive 200 HTTP requests, so successful. You will follow all the steps with the logging, and you say even what it returns. Until bye, Brutus. Have a nice day. And here, it often creates an empty file with your research. In your case, would it be like, for example, the book research. Here, you can see the output. You can also ask to create a PDF or a dynamic HTML, for example. Let me see one by one now where you're at. You having issues?
Yes, I just got a take error. It's maybe post okay, but then.
Can I see your end?
Yes. That's my. Yeah, I checked that. That's correct. And I got this from building the project.
Are you in did you do the VA and in start requirement?
Which one? Where?
Requirement. So if you come here to the README, you have to use all the Python stuff. Create a VM, then you install the requirements.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I mean, because I did it here. What is it called? What is it called? Export. Okay, maybe it's this.
But you're using the .env and it uses the .ven. You should not do that. But, well, not really, but the env. Can you maybe delete and create a new one?
Yes.
Okay. I will give you more like 10 minutes for us to do with this frustration. But again, it is meant for you to do on your home. And the basic agent is for you to understand that break it down to see how simple it is. And then you can create things as complex as you want. Because shortly we will, yes. Yeah.
When we created an agent, we wrote like the name of the functions that we defined in Python already. This grid capability, framework capability. So can we like create any function that we want?
Any function.
Okay, so
that's why it's like this infinite amount of possibilities.
And then we have to just copy paste the name of the function, which we know that these functions are available and use them.
Or you can also describe it. But for me, I'm more lazy, I just describe it. You can also use natural language to say, this agent do this, this, and this. But for me as a developer, I like to debug it. So when I put the capability, it calls this name. So I'm like, okay, those are when I remember what it is. But if you think that a user will use your agent, then describing would be better. You cannot create tunnel on your computer?
I just did all the steps, so it's there, but it says it's not allowed because you can only kill it, delete it, or it doesn't execute because it's just a random executable from the internet. And security doesn't.
There's also local tunnel, which is an open source project that does tunneling, but I never actually use it. This is just a silly. You can try it again. You can try it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to go over the security. Any person good with securities? And no? How are you doing? You're chatting with him? Oh, perfect. Yes, this is another thing.
But he's not responding.
He's not responding.
Yeah,
Rude.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh.
It seems to be working. When I
Cool.
when I chat with it, it does stuff. So, but how does it know? If I got it right, we have these greet, farewell, and help capabilities. How does it decide when I enter something here? It sends the request now to my local, right? How does it know which of the capabilities to choose for the text which I enter?
So two things. There's this one. You have to, it's waiting for your human input for you to approve the plan. And you will call it through the capabilities that you have defined. It will, how does it know? It's a kind of magic, to be honest. It's a kind of a black box magic that it reads the capability and, oh, these agents do that, and it calls this agent for this function. So if you'd say it understands that, and that is the reasoning part that the platform adds, that's kind of hard when you do it on your own. If you say, hello, hola, ¿cómo estás? It will understand the context and understand that the user is saying hello.
Okay.
But that's what we call it reasoning, that it's harder when you build it from the scratch.
Okay, so with this, it figures out on its own which of the capabilities it needs to call.
Yeah, but it basically reads the function and interprets what it does and try to match what the user is trying to do. Makes sense?
Yeah.
But really, really, it's kind of black box. Yes.
There's no follow after creating the agent, so after adding the agent.
You create a project. Projects?
Okay.
Create a project. And then you say hi, what's your name? Hi, I'm Ihe.
What?
You would like say hi to me and
But
say
I
hi.
specify that an agent at details or, and I need to really specify that again here, right?
Well, here you tell what the agent needs to do. It's like, what do you want it to do? I want to say hi and bye to me.
For me, it was hello, as many as required.
Okay, and you give a name. Next. And choose your agent.
Normally shouldn't be.
No, you have to choose your agent. It will give you some, maybe those are good for you, but then you want to choose your agent. Cool. Next. Next. Now it will put you in the loop to approve the plan, and you can either say, yeah, it's a good plan, or deny it. Yes. Ah, okay. Uh-huh. Ah, cool. And you rock. You install it with Brew? Cool.
We're not yet there. Yes, we have an agent and we want to find information about the endpoint.
Okay, so close.
Just in case the step. We're here. This step.
Okay, go back. So this is a generic agent. If you close it, you want to create add agent. You don't want the agent builder. You don't need code at all. That's no code.
I think we went through all of these steps to create an agent.
Did you put your endpoint here? Yeah.
This is
The build agent is no code, and add agent is when you need to add your agent. Welcome. Anyone else has an emergent question? Otherwise, we're going to the second part. Okay. Okay. Approve the plan? Or not? Restart the task. Is he giving this error a lot? Can I restart the task? Oops. Maybe engineers are doing some push. We're in beta still. How are you doing? Okay. Where are you last? So build agent is a no-code agent builder. And add agent, it's where you send your code to the platform. Yeah. Yeah, the build with no code, you build directly in the platform. No, that's just if you want to just play with natural language to create your own agent. Yeah, it's a good to play. If you think it's good, you just approve the plan. And that's it. And then you will see the thing going, and you see the message on your terminal of the process. Question issues. Huh? I'm not sure if it does what you ask, but... Cool. Anyone else? Merge and... Yeah. Approve the plan? That's it. See in your Python? It should return at least a 200. Oh, you have to run your agent. From the Python side, yes. Basic agent .py. So you go there. Now, but it's interesting because I forget that all the time. And if you go back to the platform, it will tell you that it's a. I'm trying, but I cannot find this. It's not there. Yeah.
Thank you.
You can build agents without code at all, if you want. Like, you need these connections because you need to open your code to talk to the platform. Your code?
Why do I need to open my code from somebody else?
Because that's a very simple agent, but you may create an agent that has an API call to 100 of other places and do all the things. Not quite. We have a secret management that you can use for others to authenticate. Oh. You can just for you to test the platform itself, you can just use the no-code function because you test just with natural language how to create an agent. But in the deployment mode, you would deploy your agent to a server. You cannot upload the code. It will not read your code as you are expecting to do. Yeah, you can drop files. You can, but it's not going to read your code as an agent and make it work your agent. That's usually we want to use that as a context. Or you can try it out, see if it works. The basic Py. The basic agent. But it's, how did you build your agent? It's interesting to see how it works, what it will do. Yeah. You don't do anything. It would do on its own. The idea is that you use the minimum of human interaction. I honestly don't know what it will do with the code. We will probably need to have a coder or some other agent to read it. But for now, I would have just used if you go to agents, build agent, and then you use the agent builder, and you create just with natural language, just for you to try it out, creating agents. But if you want to create a specific agent, then you wouldn't need to connect that to a server. It's not an agent. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Woo. Oh, shit. Huh? Oh, shit. Okay. We're going to the second part of the workshop, because that part you can start. Should I sing? Should I sing? Star shining bright above you. Okay. Hey, everyone. We're going to the second phase. You now have access. You have credits. You have a detailed tutorial. You can go in your house and do it on your own. I hate going to workshops when I feel frustrated because I cannot finish the tutorial, and I became that person. I'm sorry about that, technology as it is. But now we have the very cool part of the project, of this workshop, that is reflecting about what we are doing.
So coming into the second part, when we are talking, before we even start, I want everybody to open a new Markdown file on your terminal, on your computer, and just write down the idea of the agent that you would want to build. Take a minute. It doesn't have to be extremely sophisticated. Just write it for yourself. You know, it's in writing, and then it's happening, right? I mean, if you put it in writing. No, I'm kidding. Just write it. Be as creative as you want. You know, you want to destroy the world, that's fine. You are able to do it. You want to save the world. You know, you have all the spectrum there. Just write down for yourself, ignore what's on the screen here, it's not important. What would you build if you know everything about agent building? So you're getting there. Is everybody done with their amazing idea? You are allowed to change it in the future, so it's not set in stone. So the thing about agents is that it's not just like you're not just writing code, it's also about the consequences. And you know, a lot of people are scared, and you know, people are talking about AI taking our jobs and so on. But I mean, there is maybe half truth in that. But every agent that we build could impact jobs, perpetuate biases, or create or destroy social values. And now you are responsible for thinking about all of these things before you even start writing code. That's why I said, like, you write down your idea of the agent, and you can already start thinking about what are the implications of that before you actually start implementing the agent. Because after you start implementing, who here has experience falling in love with their code? Yeah, so it's really hard to throw away code that you wrote and invested so much time just because it turns out to be bad, or written for the wrong reasons, or you know, you didn't like think it through properly. So, and you can all read this document on this a little bit of a snippet on the ethics considerations. The idea is that these agents that we're building are existing on a spectrum. It would be so easy to say that my agent is bad, is an autonomous weapon, or my agent is good, it's just, you know, helping with diagnosis in a medical world. So that's like super extreme. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure even the cooking assistant, we could use it in an evil way if we really tried. Like, for example, introducing a little bit of poison, right? Like, if your wife wants to kill you and she hacks your agent, she could, you know. So anyways, just, you know, hypothesis out there. Be careful what you're building in your house and making available for everyone. And so we all know from building models, working with data, that we have the topics of bias, the data is biased, the models are biased, that we have to care about. And there's all those considerations that we have, but one new consideration that is more prevalent with agents is accountability. Who is responsible for the decisions the agent is doing once the agent is allowed to do decision making? The developer, the people who build the LLM, the people who put it in production. So it becomes a little bit like, you know, you have all this conversation on autonomous driving. You know, Tesla doesn't want to be responsible, but is it? And we also have regarding costs. These agents are using a lot of energy and a lot of resources. So it is nice to play around and put toy examples out there for letting everybody to use them, but in the end, they can be quite expensive. Do you want to be responsible for that environmental cost? Just a couple of days ago, I don't know if you've noticed in the news, there was like one user asked themselves on X how much electricity is burned by people who are saying please and thank you on ChatGPT. And the CEO said that, well, it's just, you know, millions, just being polite. But he also said that it's worth it. You never know, maybe it pays off to be polite to the AI chatbot. So that is like, maybe what is your opinion? It's like not, it's not like really like, I think who here is agreeing it's worth the billions in environmental cost to be polite to ChatGPT? Yeah, so we have the devil's advocates here, of course. Some people, yeah. So who here disagrees with this? We should all be like impolite on purpose just to make it cheaper. That's a different direction, of course, yeah. So the opinions are, you know, it's not really clear what is like good or right and so on. There is a very nice blog about this. You can read it. It's on AI agents best practices. So it has like what are the places that you have to pay attention and think about, like pricing models, in reducing hallucination, having use cases, human oversight. You saw it also earlier that you have to say, yeah, that is exactly what I meant, but later on, do you want to have human oversight? So today, we are introducing this framework that you will have a little bit of time to read. It's the AI ethics canvas that is written by Tristan Goetze, which is also an adaptation from the business canvas. And the idea is, with that idea that you have for your agent, is to open this canvas and you pair up. You're not going to work on this alone. So you turn around to your favorite neighbor. Pick a neighbor. Yeah. And you you go to resources. And here you have the canvas. There's the guidebook. So here, no, that's the picture. So this is kind of how the canvas is, but we also have it in Markdown so you can, and you kind of start thinking about it, like what is the purpose of my agent, what data I'm going to use, what are the vulnerable groups that could be targeted by this, what are possible harms, possible benefits. And I think the exercise the most important exercise for you to do today is really think what are, like, critically, what are the possible harms? I think normally are very romantic about the code that we write, and we think nobody's going to use it. Who's going to know? Nobody's going to do anything evil with it. You know, image recognition. Nobody's going to do anything evil with it. Said a lot of people, but then they got proven wrong, right? So I think you can read the Canvas, the PDF. There's a whole PDF. No, this is the same one.
The exercises.
It's in exercises. So, in exercises, you have it as a markdown that you can interact with. And you can read up on it, but I think today we don't really have time to go in a lot of details about everything. So you go to exercises, ethics, and there's the markdown. And just ask yourself some of these questions. Don't answer all of them, but try to think critically about like the more negative ones. And you have, how many minutes do we have? Okay, so you have for this 5 minutes. Don't answer all the questions, just answer some of the questions. And pair up and discuss this with your partner. Tell your partner what you think are positive, negative things, so let yourself get challenged.
Cool. It's lovely.
I don't know, you want to do the demo example?
Who? The food.
After I told him that he can get poisoned.
He didn't like. No one likes being poisoned. I think you can finish though. Did something happen? Did something happen when you upload the file? Did something happen when you uploaded the code? Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen because it's not expecting to deal with code.
I think just some code instruction to store things out early, that people have a chance to spec them out before they install. Otherwise, you also try to install things that might not work.
Yeah.
It's a very important thing. Everything that needs to install, you need to know.
Before.
Most people don't do it anyway, but at least they had the chance.
Yeah.
Because I spent an hour trying to install the thing. First I had to create 2 accounts, then I had to factor authentication, then I tried to install the security, find out the security, and then I just realized security doesn't work. So it's slightly frustrating.
I'm sorry.
Because I didn't get anything what you want to tell me. It's just when I set up.
And there's this thing that never faced the security part. So I was not countering that, then takes longer even. Yeah, I'm sorry. Learned.
Except just saying, for that, okay, you need to install this, you have to create an account, yeah? Install this and this to make it. That's the most important thing. So
Yeah.
you know what they expect. You need to let it, all the things just to run, and then but at least set the instructions what needs to be installed, but I can't seem to do that. Because it all takes time. So creating an account, 10 minutes, another account, 10 minutes. Once you create an account, you can even have
It's longer than I thought, yeah. I hope you can do it later though, because it is so fun when you start doing it.
Yeah, so because I was so focused on installing that before nobody makes sense.
Okay. Good. Time, no?
So, wait.
I'm singing in the rain. No. Shit. I cannot think of anyone.
Okay, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, so this was the part of thinking about the risks, and I now want you to think about how can you flip that risk? What is a countermeasure that you could implement? You can think about implementing that you would turn that risk into an opportunity. Don't we all want that? So you don't have to solve all the risks, but pick one and again discuss how could. And then we can do sharing is caring. Whoever wants to share about a risk that they identified and like a problem that their agent could be misused and how they would have mitigated that. And then we can have a sharing session at the end. So, can you flip that is the question. The problems that you thought your agent would have, 5 minutes to discuss.
What time is the panel?
50. So we have 15 minutes left. They kind of wanted 5 minutes for questions, but we just...
Cool.
So if you want to do the end of it, you can start.
I think it was enough. Good. And you smile. Kidding. Thank you. No. No. I want it.
It's good, yeah?
No. It's a case? What is it? It's from the computer?
Yeah, it's you can
What? But it's because your computer let you do that?
I can just put everything in
I thought it was like an external thing that you could have put it. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Oh, that's cool.
So here you can like put in logos, animated stuff. Oh, you just put in text.
I love it.
It's good, yeah?
It's good. Is it time? No. No? Sorry. Maybe. To post it? The post, can speak out. Yeah. Oh, but they're not seeing. I was checking if I should do this. Yeah. Wait, are we in the agenda?
We do the brave humans. So, brave humans, who want to share? Who wants to share a risk that they identified with their agent and a way that they identify how to mitigate that risk? Yeah? Wait a second.
I can. I'm checking that.
Thanks. Is it on? Yeah. Okay. So earlier I had the idea of automating posting on Twitter, and I just now was thinking about an agent that would look through other people's tweets, identify the ones that have a need for, I don't know, if I have my own product, a product that serves their need, and for the agent to write a helpful reply to them and then casually sprinkle the product in there. And the risk we identified is what if the agent misclassifies what the person is trying to say. Maybe they bring up a problem, but then they are like, and this led me to develop depression or something. And then the agent could reply and, I don't know, give like a nice recipe for cooking a cake, which might be appropriate, but not in that context. And mitigation strategy might be to have like a human in the loop. For example, that the agent identifies the original tweet, prepares a reply, but a human in the loop would need to check if this is really appropriate.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to share?
So we talked about building an agent that would scour different APIs, catalog them, write kind of a user documentation and remember how they worked, so that you could easily find out, hey, how do I interact with this system? And it could offer it to the end user to be like, hey, would you like to make a query towards this or that? And then quickly we realized that that's probably really dangerous for cybersecurity purposes. And I don't think we found a really good way of curtailing that system, except maybe only use it as a cybersecurity tool on internal systems or similar. Debate is welcome.
Thank you.
So we did think about an agent that can apply to jobs, making the resume tailored on the job descriptions. But the risk was very high. Like people could misuse it for like they don't have the skills and they still apply for the jobs. So we did not find some valid mitigation of the risk for this agent.
Anybody else wants to?
Thanks. We expanded on the food idea. Must be hungry. And we thought that this agent could take in a photo of ingredients that you have at home and then suggest some recipes based on just what you had. A risk here is that you might put some fish or some meat into the image and it may not be fit for eating anymore because it's out of use by date. So the risk there is, you might give yourself food poisoning. Benefit is that maybe no one will ask you to cook again, but to deal with the risk of food poisoning, we thought maybe the agent could also then just do a check to make sure that the food is still suitable for eating.
Nice, thank you.
Do you want to give the example, the original example?
Yeah. So we actually tried really hard to come up with an example of an evil agent on purpose, and it's kind of hard to get that, like defined. Like apparently, nobody wants to build any evil stuff, and we are not evil enough. Anyways, so one agent that we thought about would be someone to help people with job interviews and to act as well, actually I asked it to act like an evil interviewer, and Perplexity translated that to a skeptical interviewer. So this, because nobody wants to do evil stuff. So the idea of this agent was to be used by people who apply for jobs to prepare them for those unexpected questions, like what makes you think you can apply for this job, that you're qualified for it, some questions that get asked in job interviews. And of course this can get misused by people preparing interviews that don't want to prepare themselves for the interviews to come up with questions to lock people in states of high uncertainty. So yeah. And I think you built the agent, right?
I'm having issues with SDK to be, it's been my personal nightmare. Do you want to close? Yeah. Cool. So as a closing, for us, the takeaway that we want you to take, I hope that was somehow helpful for you, was first that you have a cool tool now that you can use at home and start playing with. It's a really easy entry to start dealing with the agents that can get fairly complicated, but that you can still do a few cool things. But the second one is to really reflect, and Laura Summers gave a brilliant talk yesterday talking about the aesthetics of AI and how violent it is, but it is kind of invisible, and we're all buying in a very fascist aesthetics, and this is quite dangerous. So when we create awareness about what we're doing and conscious, that can be a very powerful tool. And one of the things that is shifting a lot, as we have mentioned, it is the job market and how much we're seeing our own jobs being affected. That can be as positive as negative as we want. But when we create things in the world that can be really helpful, for example, the same agent that could be evil could actually prepare people or create conscious for recruiters, we're actually putting something out there that it is your direct code and creation into the world, and a possibility for, and that was the part of earning with that. There's a lot of platforms just like OpenServe, but many others as well, that are allowing you to directly sell your code to someone. So there's a lot of responsibility that comes with, but a lot of also market shift possibilities for us as individuals. And I think that can be something cool to try it out by selling your agents. And if you have an agent that is ethical, that has a purpose and can do some good to the world, why not earning out of it? And that's it. We deeply appreciate everyone for staying, trying out. Your feedbacks are really welcome for us to improve next time, and thank you.